Boy, that hoax story won't go away. Notre Dame's linebacker Manti Te'o today canceled an interview he was supposed to do with ESPN, but backed out at the last minute. Te'o says he's the victim of a hoax, has been saying that for the last couple of days, involving a dead girlfriend who never existed. A lot of questions. Really not many answers yet, Mike.
It won't go away because we keep talking about it. That's
right.
part of it. We're not alone there.
We're
not alone there. And some of Te'o's Notre Dame teammates, in fact, are saying that they knew that the girlfriend wasn't real, but that Te'o fueled the story, presumably to get more attention. ESPN was reporting that today. The timeline is where this is becoming a problem for Te'o now, because he told the university that he learned on December 6th that this was a hoax, that the girl with whom he had developed an online relationship wasn't real. Problem is for Te'o that came on December 6th, but Te'o is quoted in stories published on December 8th and December 10th, where he references the girlfriend and the fact that she had died after a battle with leukemia. Again, those interviews coming after he supposedly had been told that this was a hoax. There are also inconsistencies about whether Te'o ever met his girlfriend in person. A South Bend newspaper had quoted him as saying that he met her in 2009 at a football game, but yesterday a Notre Dame official said it was strictly an online relationship. So some holes in this story, to be sure.
Interesting, and Penn State is an entirely more horrific thing, but the way the university has handled it, it's just interesting. And again, they're not really equal at all. No laws have probably even been broken. But I read on that Deadspin article, there's a CBS News story, 3-minute long story that aired the day of the BCS National Championship game. That's like 2 weeks after Notre Dame found out about this, and they weren't stepping in to try to say, hey, the girlfriend is quoted in that story. And at some point you'd think they'd say, hold back on the stories about this.
Well, and I'm surprised that Notre Dame has come to his defense and did so quickly, because they're all in on this. The school, there's no turning back now. So we'll see where it leads in terms of the university's possible involvement. As you said, what the school knew and when the school knew it, and we'll see when we hear from the young man.
All right, Mike, thank you.
All right, guys, this whole thing was no surprise to relationship expert and author Nina Atwood. Her latest book is called Internet Dating for the Savvy Single, and it truly is about how something like this could happen, something that I've never heard of before all this. Nina, thank you for being here with us.
Bet.
All right, Manti, do you think that he could have been a victim in all of this, or was it it sounds at times like a web of lies that just got too much?
Well, I think he really is a victim. I think he was hoaxed. And I think what happened is, one of the first things your family and friends ask you when you say you have someone new in your life, how did you meet them?
Of course.
So then he kind of made up this little white lie about how he met her at Stanford, and it snowballed for him. But I think that he really was tricked. I don't think he intended to hoax anybody else. I think he was fooled.
So how do you get pulled into this catfishing?
Oh, the people who get pulled into it are people who are kind of socially awkward and needy and don't have a lot of emotional intelligence, so they don't pick up on the little things that you or I would that would have us going, wait a minute, this sounds really strange.
So if you're needy, you're looking for love, and you're wanting that kind of in a way, so maybe you overlook things that other people might say, well, that's a little strange.
Wanting too much to have that validation from somebody. And if you're not very good at connecting in the real world and real relationships, then a fantasy relationship can be very enticing because you're being flattered all the time. And it's easy. It's just online. It's Twitter. It's Facebook. It's not a real relationship, so you can get pulled into that.
Well, so how does it go on then for so long without becoming suspicious? Because it turns into the fantasy that you mentioned?
Yeah, and then eventually you have this emotional investment because the fiction that you have bought is now important. And for him, I think it became so important that he started really turning a blind eye to the situation. He didn't want to know the truth.
It actually seems really kind of sad when you think of it like that.
Yeah.
What is it that makes somebody do this to somebody else? Because it had to start somewhere, and if he's a victim, that means somebody did it to him.
They did. This is a really sick thing that someone would do this. The person that would do this is somebody who has an overblown need to create a pretend persona. They don't like who they are. They have very low self-esteem. So let me pretend to be something that I am not. And the other thing is, I hate to say this, but they kind of get off on manipulating the other person. And then the fact that it's a celebrity, wow, they really got off on that. Because look at that. They're twisting this person who's in the media It's
sick and it's sad, and that is a lot of what the internet and you know, these online things have done, because you're hiding behind your computer screen and you don't really know who you're talking to.
It's so easy to get into that kind of stuff, and if you're someone who's susceptible, you've got to be very careful. So,
yeah, how do you protect yourself?
You know, it's simple. The simple thing is to ask for a face-to-face meeting as soon as possible. And if somebody won't meet with you or Skype with you very quickly early in a relationship, you got to pass on that. Bring your family and friends into it. Tell them the truth. Tell them, I've met this person online. What do you think of this situation? Get other people's points of view.
And I would say, if you meet them in a public place. Don't say, come on over, here's my, go somewhere where there are other people.
Public place first.
Nina, thank you so much. We really appreciate it, as always, you coming in and giving us more insight. Again, catfishing, I had no idea.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.